right, guys, 2025 is an election year, and this year the election will be for the National Council Seat B seat. And on tonight's Meet the Candidate video, we are joined by Galen Cloud. He is the incumbent in the McIntosh District Seat B. So, Galen, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Still good, Mr. Moore. I just want to start off by saying muddo to you for inviting me, and Mvskoke Media for having this again.
Absolutely. To start off with, I wanted to give you a few minutes to just talk about why you're running for re-election and what you're going to do with your, I believe it's your second term, right?
Yes, sir.
So go for it, sir.
Jawjufka Galen Cloud, my Jawjufka Rondo. I'm a leg at that. It was okay. I'm a leg at Rondo. I made over that flop one. I made over Rondo as a New Yorker man. Takas lady Rondo. So Nagi, you want that, Lika Yata. Hadam that, Oklahoma be Austin or Libahani Rondo. So Nagi, I don't get that, Mizayata. Just Hadam, and ask that high that Justin and with that, I just want to say that my name is Galen Cloud, and this will be my I'm seeking re-election for the McIntosh District. I was humbly honored to sit on the McIntosh District Seat B. I was elected by the citizens, and so I. During my 3 years, I had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but a lot of ups has outweighed my downs. A lot of trying times. My previous employment as the Tribal Historic Preservation Officer, I like I said before, I really loved that job, and I knew coming in that this would be a full-time job, and I would have to be for the citizens. And so when I left that job, when I took office, I'll tell you, Jared, it has been a really fulfilling job. It's the citizens that I've helped, that not only the citizens, but our elders, our youth, to the kids, to the ceremonial grounds, to our traditional churches, just being there for them. It takes dedication, and it takes the love for our people to be there. And so it's been very, very rewarding for me, and I being the advocate, or being the voice that the elders that do call me. It's not a 9 to 5 job. I can guarantee you that it's not a 9 to 5. We don't stop on the weekends, holidays. Actually, this past winter, during Christmas Eve, I actually got a few calls, and one was from a family member who had an elder who had passed, and they were needing things with their homes. And the good thing about what I've learned with the nation being there is our employees are very dedicated. They are very willing to help, even on holidays such as Christmas Eve. They came out. They heeded the call. They went out there to the family, and just was there for their needs. And those are very rewarding to me, to know that we are there, and that we answer the call.
Gotcha. So I want to remind you guys too, we are taking questions from the chat. I had a citizen email me a question to ask, so I'm going to start off with that. The question is, are you familiar with the MCN Priority Climate Action Plan, and how will you work on the council, if elected, to enact the recommendations in the plan and facilitate meeting its goals?
Primary action plan for the climate?
Yeah, it's the MCN Priority Climate Action Plan.
I'm not familiar with that, but if it's something that that is needed, I know there's a lot of things that's come to the National Council, and when we read our legislation or we read the things that the chief does send down to us, if that is needed, that's something that's I would fully support that.
All right. So the next question I was going to ask is, it's kind of like what everybody's talking about now. What is your opinion on the recent Supreme Court decision in the Freedman case?
Oh, that's still in litigation right now. Uh, I would have to pass on that for right now.
All righty. So the next question I was going to ask is, what is your plan for your second term? Do you have signature legislation that you want to get passed, or what are your objectives?
Well, the one thing that when I come into office was my background with the cultural background that I do have. I was very honored to sponsor the cultures and humanities legislation that come through, and that's something that was very needed. We I sat down with the chief and second chief, and they explained to me and the the need there, and so we sat down and we talked, and I'm glad we have that there at the nation, and it's very needed because it's something that we need to have our language into the schools, and something that that we've worked towards is trying to get our emergent school, and that's something that's been on the table for a very long time, and I see that moving forward, and with our liaison, our Muskogee language liaison program also is there as well, and for that program to see them to bring elders together and to see them gather at every community center, and the numbers of our elders is growing in them gathering up and just a fellowship and just to be together. And so more of our language being out there, our cultural ways and things like that. I think that's going to be needed. So I'm always willing to help with those programs. And so other things with that, I would. There's a lot of things that needs to take place.
Okay. Also, this election, there is a constitutional amendment on the ballot to go back to district voting. What's your opinion on
Yes, sir.
that?
Well, the district voting, it was, to my understanding, it was put on the for the citizens to vote on before, and it had failed. And the more citizens that I do talk to, it's more of the elders and at our community centers, and so, some are for it. It is some are not really in favor of it, but I think that was a question that we had that was given to us at a forum. I believe is in Coweta, and my opinion on that is I think it's needed. I mean, it's whatever you do in your district. I mean, the citizens know that you're there to help. So it's even though if we did go back to district voting, every district, every Muskogee people is those are the ones that we're elected to help. So it doesn't matter if you're from the Bristow, the Creek District, the McIntosh District, the Coweta District. It doesn't matter where you live at. If if you call me, I mean I'm there to help, because everybody is Muskogee that we were elected by, and so I'm glad to see that's on the ballot this year, and so we'll see what happens.
All right. I want to remind you guys that are watching, you can pop a question into the chat. I saw a question come in and then it got retracted, David, where I believe you had a question posed. But if you want to post a question in there, go for it. We'll ask it. What do you think Mr. Cloud, the big challenges going forward for the nation are going to be for your second term? Is there something that you see on the horizon that needs to be addressed? Like, for instance, this election, we saw one of the seats didn't get anybody to file, and I know a lot of citizens were talking about the blood quantum requirement, and maybe it's time to address that. Is there anything that you see coming up that you think is going to be something that needs to be addressed?
Well, that was one of the questions that was asked of the candidates in at one of the forums. We have met with the election board uh, more than once to see how we can get the voting up. It's We really can't hold any like programs or anything like that if you don't uh, go to vote. I mean, it's just not constitutional to do that, and so we have to find a way to get our get the people out to vote because it wasn't so long ago that we were given the right to vote, and so that's something that's your voice. That's something as Muskogee people that we have, and it's a very big deal. And to get them there, to get them to the polls, to get them to vote, it's uh, gosh, it's we can talk about this um, all day, but we just have to find a way to do that to get them to the polls,
Do you
and
think?
that'll be something to look at. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, along those lines, I know one of the things I've heard from citizens a lot is maybe we should make it mandatory to vote. If you're a citizen, in order to have citizenship and be over a certain age, and in the future, depending on what happens with the Supreme Court case, we might be readdressing the constitutional requirements for citizenship. Would you support saying if you want to be a citizen, you're required to vote?
Um, that would be something to look at. I would definitely that would be a possibility. That if we could just get them to vote. I mean, there's a that that's a great question too as well to get them there. So that'd be something to look at.
Okay. David Ware asks, how do you feel about elders veterans long-term care, including assisted living facilities?
I believe we need that. I believe that our veterans has paid the price, have paid for that, and so that's something that, along with our elders, our veterans is up there as well. And so I know that our veterans center, our veteran affairs center there, our department there does a lot of things for them, and so that I know that housing for them, the addiction, the things that they go through daily is unimaginable. I had a uncle that was in Vietnam. I know a lot of them that come back they're still dealing with those traumas today. I mean, there's things that we need for counseling and more help for our veterans and more housing as well.
One of the things that we've seen over this past iteration of the council is the kind of discussions about the council's internal rules and policies, right? How do you feel about the internal rules and policies that the council has now, like especially in regards to like social media and other things? Do you think that there needs to be changes, or what the council has right now is good?
I think uh, what we have is good. I think with the social media, uh, we have to be transparent with our citizens. I mean, we they have to know what is going on. Just like as council representatives, we go out to our community center, and I go out to four. I have Hannah, Yardika, Shakota, and Eufaula, and we go out there and we give them reports. And of course, that questions are asked from us, and if there's things that that are need more detail, we go back and we get answers for them and we take it back. But our citizens are the ones that we need to be communicating with. So I think social media is good.
All right. David Worrow has asked another question. I think it's a follow-up to his earlier question about assisted living facilities. He asks, will you introduce a bill?
Yeah, that's something that I would introduce. That on the lines of the housing, there's it's needed. It really is needed.
You know, one of the things I saw too is there's currently, there's the three ponds that's they're trying to get it finished, and then there's another
Yeah.
project to redo I think it's the income adjusted housing in the College Heights neighborhood, and housing is kind of reaching
Okay.
out to try to do some neighborhood revitalization there, and I think there's a working group happening there. Is that it? Does the council need to get more involved in that and put more money into the housing stuff, maybe outside of federal regulations like casino money or anything, or do you think it's being served well how it is now?
Well, housing, I believe that we need to put more money into that, um, to because every community that I visit, housing is always the main topic. Apartments, things of that nature for just like we spoke for our veterans and our elders, and
Mm-hmm.
just to get our citizens some housing, some living space, and it's just we have I haven't I don't know the numbers on it, but I know that there just recent times that I've received calls from citizens who are homeless, and in this day and time, things are getting more expensive. I mean, even living, and I know our elders are on fixed incomes, and we deal with a lot of that too, and so it's needed.
All right. I don't see any questions popping up in the chat, and we're approaching 20 minutes, and normally we try to wrap these up before 30 minutes. Is there anything about the campaign or your coming term, if you're reelected, that we haven't talked about that you want to get into this Meet the Candidate?
Well, I if I am reelected, I want to continue. uh, what I'm doing is as helping as much as I can. I know I know there's sometimes that we as council members, we do get a lot of calls, and there's times that citizens are it's the help that we wish that they could get. It's sometimes they're turned away, and I always look for different avenues for them. I always, if one fails, I always try to go to another one. And if that fails, I always try to, I always try to look for something for them. And the departments there are really good of getting back and trying to help the citizen, but sometimes it's it doesn't work out, and I really hate that. But there's different programs that I think that we need to look at and maybe fund, and so that we can do with our tribal dollars, and some are relying on the federal dollars that we do have, because in the federal programs we have to go by their guidelines. And,
Yeah.
and if we had our own tribal dollars, then we can set our own, and then we can help that way.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't see any more questions popping up. I do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Galen. It's been great to talk to you. Um, I want to remind you, if you're watching this video and you're a candidate and you haven't been scheduled to do a Meet the Candidate video, just email me. My email is jmoore, that's MOORE, at MvskokeMedia.com, and we'll get you all set up and scheduled to do a video. We're swiftly running out of time. We're not going to do any videos after September 16th, because September 17th is the early voting. And then also, absentee ballots went out on the 21st, and the 27th is the deadline for absentee ballot requests. So if you want to get your video done before any of the citizens that are at large, because that's a large part of our audience is at large citizens, send their ballot back. In other words, if you want your video to be seen while they're filling their ballot out, get in touch with me as soon as you can. We have sent out an invite to all of the candidates with emails that we had on file. But if you didn't see one from me, just go ahead and email me directly. With that being said, I don't see any more questions. The audience is saying Mado for coming on the program, Mr. Cloud. And is there anything you'd like to add before we get out of here?
Well, I just want to tell the citizens that I'm very humble and I'm very grateful that they gave me this opportunity to sit on the seat B for McIntosh County, the district, for 3 years. And I plan to uphold our Constitution of this great nation. I take when we take that sacred oath, it's the same oath that our elders took.
Oh, he got kicked out of the meeting, guys. Sorry about that. Let me see I'm going to wait just a second to see if he pops back into the meeting so he can finish his closing remarks. And if you guys have a question, go ahead and pop it in the chat. We'll try to get it. We were just wrapping up, but I don't see him back in the. Oh, here he is. All right.
Oh, well, we dropped.
Yeah, you're okay. We're still in the video, so you can finish what you're saying. I waited for you, so we're back, guys. Just try to pick up where you left off when we dropped out.
Yeah, I just want to say, Mado to the citizens, for electing me, and I'll continue to do the job that I was elected to put the citizens first, and we take that, the oath to the Constitution, and I uphold that because that's just something that our elders took as well, and I want to, with our culture and our language and our ways, I want to protect that for our children's children, and I want to deliver that as well as we have it now, and make it better for them. And so our elders paved that path. We just got to stay on it and keep going for the betterment of the nation.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cloud, and you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sure thing. I wanted to give you guys in the audience there, thanks for tuning in. We have Will Lowe scheduled for 6 p.m. on Friday this week. Next week, on the 18th, we have Tim Jackson scheduled also for 6 p.m. On the 20th, we have Sandra Golden scheduled for 6 p.m. And then on the 22nd, we have J.R. Wind scheduled for 6 p.m. So if you want to ask those candidates questions, tune in. You can also just email me the questions ahead of time if you can't tune in, and I will ask them. So with that being said, we've had a question pop up.
Oh.
Let me ask. T.Y. Prohl is asking, are you a citizen of one of the 3 federally recognized tribal towns?
Thaco Tribal Town. That's my mother's. That's where she's from. So we're born into that. So
okay.
That's my tribal town.
Well, I think he's asking, are you a member? Are you a member of the federally recognized Thaco Tribal Town?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. There you go. So you squeezed that one in there, T.Y. Prohl. Good on you. So. We are at 24 minutes. I don't see any more questions popping up. And with that, I've given you guys the schedule. Mado for tuning in, and we'll see you later. Mado, hadum, chihicha, please.
Mado.